So I hit 5,000 subscribers here on YouTube. I'm so thankful to have reached this milestone. I really never thought it would happen because I've been writing this as a goal for probably the last 5 years. In this video, I want to walk down memory lane, reflect on my YouTube journey with you. Let's go. I started my business in July 2017, and back then my business name was Things Unseen Designs. That same year, I published my first Skillshare class, and then I became a top teacher in the next 3 to 6 months, I think. I'm not a top teacher anymore, which I'm a little sad about, but I'm over it because, I just had to focus on other things and I couldn't dedicate myself full time to Skillshare anymore. So around that time, I had started my YouTube channel, but I don't think I started posting right away because I didn't really take YouTube that seriously. I think I was most active on Instagram and my Skillshare platform. So when I scroll back to my first videos here on this channel, there's a series of paintings from an Instagram challenge that I did with another artist called Creative Herbology. And I'm just looking at some of these, and these are so much fun. I think this ginger one was my favorite because I just loved capturing the little textures, all the little grooves. And I think I used a lot of wet on wet, and that was kind of a challenge, And this was very early on in my creative journey too. I think at the beginning of my watercolor journey, I was just willing to try anything and everything. The channel kind of reflects that because it was kind of all over the place. Again, I didn't have a strategy. About here, so this is still 7 years ago, so now this is 2018 or so. Some of these were from my Skillshare class. So the cherry blossoms, the magnolia, those were both Skillshare classes. And then I was really into bullet journaling. So there's this one here. I did do some tutorial stuff, but I don't think I was as serious about them because again, I was still way more active on Instagram and Skillshare. So I was either very focused on, just static images because that's what Instagram was all about back then, or I was focused on very long form, course style videos. In more of my classes. Some of you might not know that I actually learned calligraphy before I learned watercolor. So that's what some of these videos are about. So some of these videos here are interesting, like this one, because these were all using the Procreate app. So I think I got the iPad maybe late 2018, maybe early 2018. I really don't remember. But I think I got the second generation of the iPad Pro. And so I got the Procreate app right away. It was the hot thing to do. So I actually created my own brush sets and I sold them. You can actually still find them on Creative Market. But I created some videos to show you how to use those brushes. And yeah, it's interesting because this one got 1,600 views and I'm whoa, before that I hadn't really experienced, engagement like that. So that was kind of cool. And then I started getting really active because I thought why don't I, write blog posts to beef up my website and all that. And so I did come out with, a good number of tutorials following that. So that's what some of these are about, how to paint watercolor apples, cucumbers, the lighthouses, narwhals, all that. And again, I was still very much into calligraphy, so I still tried to come out with some worksheets and things like that. Okay, look, there's another Procreate app one, and this one had 7,000 views. What? That was so crazy. It was a lot of fun, but I think it was around this time, so this was 5 years ago. I think this was right before the pandemic. Yeah, just November 2019. So this is right before the pandemic happened. And this was an interesting time because I think this was when I realized, I think I really need to focus on just one topic, whether it's watercolor, calligraphy, or Procreate. Sure, I can do the other two as a side hobby or something, but I really need to narrow down. I think it was just kind of confusing, just a lot of different kind of content. Maybe I could have pulled it off, really, maybe, but I just didn't have the bandwidth and I didn't have the know-it-all to do it. And then the pandemic hit in early 2020, and then the lockdown happened in March. And That was a really hard time for me personally because I was going through a divorce. It was a long time coming, to be honest, but it still affected me. And then I decided to, move my studio from the basement up to the first floor, and I overtook the master bedroom because it's the largest room. And I think that was my way of kind of like reclaiming my space, just redeeming this work. And I realized that even though I created the studio of my dreams, it didn't really help my creativity. It's not like suddenly I was, producing left and right. It was also during this time where a lot of people were kind of advancing ahead of me. Like they started getting super active on YouTube because, what else could you do, right? You couldn't teach in person. You had to do everything online. And so while other people were kind of going ahead, going further ahead of me, I felt like I was kind of stagnant, if not sort of falling behind. So it was a really hard time for me. And I was still searching about like what to do. That was 2020. Yeah, there weren't a lot of videos published because it was just a hard time. And then 2021 happens, and I start to then use the studio space that I created and start to publish some videos. And so you can see sneak peeks of that. Like in this video, you see that wall that I painted. Like here in my houseplants tour, you can see the studio space and all the plants that I put in there. So yeah, I did start enjoying it again. And then I started a membership program, which kind of fizzled out. And that's a whole nother story because I learned a lot of lessons from that. But I started to get into like a rhythm of painting series. So I did a series of, flowers, animals, house plants, and oh, look, another houseplant tour. And then I did sea creatures. And this was about the time that I started releasing real-time painting. And I think it was because I wanted to like demystify all the time lapses you see. And a lot of people were starting to learn watercolor. And I think, I just wanted to be just honest and real about, how long sometimes a painting can take. So that's what all these were about. And I had already recorded these anyway. So I was like, let's just publish them and put them on YouTube. Again, I didn't really have a strategy, look at these low views. Like I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was like, you know what, let's just put these videos out there anyway. And then I did a whole series of fruits and vegetable wreaths. And out of those, I have a lot of favorites, but the figs are definitely one of the favorites. Another favorite was, the papaya. Oh my gosh, I love the different colors and then the super dark center in the middle. It was just a joy to paint. And so then we get into 2022, and then I finally released another Skillshare class. By that point, I was getting pretty burnt out of Skillshare, I think. It was really difficult to come up with new class ideas and then, trying to adhere also to what Skillshare wanted. And so I just felt like I didn't have the chops anymore. But I did produce one more class here, 10 Days of Creativity in Watercolor, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it's still a good class, and I still practice a lot of what I, included in that class. But then I continue on in my series, like these birds here. I love these birds. I had such a fun time painting these birds. And then fall flowers, crystals, yeah, like all of that. And then sometime between this and this, I got married. I started seeing someone in late 2021, and then we got married in 2022 in October. And then he decided to move into my house. And so I had to give up my master bedroom where my studio was. And then I had to move to a smaller room, which was, totally fine. But that's where you can see like this hi there video, this welcome to my studio video is where, it was really like the introduction, like reintroduction to me being more, consistent on YouTube and showing you my new space, all of that jazz. And since then, I've also like reorganized the studio so many times. For those of you who have been with me through it all, you've seen, every single iteration. From there, I really tried to be more consistent on YouTube. I tried to continue to put out tutorials, but also like beginner type of videos. Yeah, like here, beginner watercolor exercises, part 1 and part 2. And I think I started doing that because I realized like, oh, when you come to my channel, there's no like, hey, beginner, start here, you know, kind of thing. And I realized that a lot of artists have that because yeah, once you come to someone's channel, you're like, oh, I really like your style or I like what you're doing, but what are you using? You know, what supplies are you using? What techniques are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. So I realized that, yeah, having somewhere where like some of the basics are kind of covered are important. Yeah, so I started doing that series and then I kept putting out, yeah, tutorials as well. And then I got, yeah, pretty active. I started getting really I don't know if addicted is the right word, but I really started enjoying, you know, publishing on YouTube. And that was because I think my devotion to Skillshare was slowly dwindling. Just my passion for just long form content was really hard to keep up with. So I remember eventually saying goodbye to Skillshare Top Teacher. I mean, I'm still a teacher. I'm just not a top teacher anymore. I diverted a lot of that energy into my YouTube channel. So that's where you see all of these like videos. I even did like a 4 kids series. That didn't last too long, but it was still fun to create. And then I started doing a 100-day project, I think in the spring of 2023. And I think that 100-day project really revealed a lot about myself and what I like to do as an artist. But yeah, you can find that in some of the other videos. I'll link them all in the description box below. It was a lot of fun, definitely. But I kept coming out with, you know, tutorials. And then I started experimenting with studio vlogs because I realized like, oh, a lot of these videos, you don't even see my face. And I think some artists are totally okay with never showing their face, and that's okay. But I think for me, I really enjoy, you know, having that kind of interaction. I mean, yeah, I don't get that immediate interaction with you because it's not like you're responding to me in real time, but I like to see the face. I like to put a face to the name, you know, face to the painting that you're working on. I just really like that face-to-face connection. And then I launched my shop in 2024, and then my YouTube channel just slowly started growing. I think my product review videos have done really well, like my Holbein Artist watercolor and my, the Pablo color pencils. And then some of my more recent Holbein videos like this, the luminous paints and then the granulating ones. Yeah, I really enjoy doing product reviews because I think I like experimenting and just trying to see like what happens when you do this or that. Now here we are. And I've kind of taken a break from YouTube the past couple months. And I think it was really necessary because I'm just going through some personal things again. And I'm finding myself in a creative rut yet again. And I think that's totally normal. Like, I don't want to hide the fact that I'm in this space because I'm not an Energizer bunny. I also film, edit, produce my videos all by myself. I don't outsource anything. Definitely takes a toll on me, especially when, you know, personal issues take up a lot of my headspace. You know, I'm working on it and I'm slowly coming out of it. And I do want to share with you that journey, which I shared about in this YouTube short. So make sure to watch that and I'll link it as well. But it was during this break that I hit 5,000 subscribers and it was very motivating. It was very encouraging. I felt like a little spark, you know, ignite in me. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I finally reached this milestone and I'm taking a break from YouTube. It didn't seem like a good idea. And yet I have to, you know, so I did want to come here and just shoot this short video just to share, like, thank you so much for being part of this journey. For each of you for liking, being a subscriber, for commenting, for showing up to my live streams. Like, all of those actions like mean something to me. And some of you have commented multiple times and I remember your names. Like, that's how much you guys mean to me. So thank you. And I also just wanted to pop on here to share that if you are feeling like you're in a creative rut or something, like, you're definitely not alone. Like, let me know in the comments if that's where you are. And I hope that as I share how I'm emerging out of it, it'll be encouraging and inspiring for you too. Just know that you're not alone. I'm excited for the future of my channel and I'm Again, so grateful that you're here. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to like this video and leave a high five in the comments for my 5,000 subscribers. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.